Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna do a different video than my normal weekly vlogs that I've been doing. I was kind of thinking about it and I was like, you know, if someone just stumbled across my channel, because typically people come from my Instagram, they would be like, they wouldn't know anything about me. I don't really have any sort of like about me or like a backstory of who I am and what I like. They'd be like, who's this random girl? So I thought it could be kind of fun to do like a little get to know me, but we're gonna make it like slash happy hour. If you know me, you know I love wine. I love a good happy hour. So I want you to pause this video right now. I want you to go get your favorite wine, a cocktail, or like sparkling water, just like something that you love to sip on that relaxes you. Come back, resume, and let's like hang out for a little bit and just like have some fun. I'm gonna get my bottle, so I have it ready for whenever I need a refill. Oh God, I almost just fell. Okay, here we go. And action. My name is Spencer. Yes, that is my real name. People literally ask me that all the time if it's my last name, if it's a family name, because Spencer is quote unquote a boy's name. Apparently my mom really set me up to have that question be asked to me for my entire life. So yes, Spencer is my real name. I'm 29. I'm gonna be 30 in less than a month, which is, you know, this is a whole nother topic, but I'll just say a quick thing about being 30. Like 5 years ago, I was terrified to be 30. But now that I'm almost 30, I'm less scared, and I actually think this decade is gonna be like one of the best decades, so yeah. Let's see. I was born and raised in a small beach town called Panama City Beach, Florida. It's like the panhandle. I've met people that are not from Florida, and I'm like, oh, I'm from Florida, and they're like, oh, Miami? And I'm like, no, Miami's like 12 hours from where I live. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sip. So grew up here until I was like 19. I moved to Tallahassee to go to school at FSU, which is Florida State University, if you're not familiar. I went to school for retail merchandising, I almost forgot my major. Retail merchandising and product development. I have always loved fashion. I always wanted to do something in fashion. I remember whenever I was like 8 or 7 years old, my mom was like, you should be a buyer. And I was like, what's a buyer? That's somebody who picks out clothes for a brand or a clothing store and then they sell them in the store. And I was like, I want to do that. So ever since I was that age, I've always wanted to do that. Spoiler alert, I did not do that. So my husband and I met like literally almost 10 years ago. I thought about this the other day and I was like, oh my God, we met almost 10 years ago. We're actually from the same hometown, but we didn't know each other in Panama City. We had already moved to Tallahassee, and so we ended up meeting in Tallahassee, and him and his friend had started a clothing company, and the friend asked me to be a model for their website, and that's how we officially got introduced to one another. He was also in a band and he was touring, and so he was like never home. So we just remained friends for a few years, and then his band decided that they were going to no longer tour anymore. So then he was back home permanently, and we kind of got reconnected, and we just started like hanging out, and then we literally never stopped hanging out, and now we're married and we have a baby. I guess that's how relationships work, right? I don't know. So a few years after I graduated, they opened an Urban Outfitters in Tallahassee. I started working for them. I tried to work my way up. I was like, okay, this will be like a segue into hopefully working for Free People one day, because they are all under the same company. I had become obsessed with Free People. I wanted to be a buyer for Free People. That was like my dream job. That was my goal. While I was working at Urban, it was kind of unfolding in front of me that this job wasn't necessarily as creative as I thought it was going to be. And I knew back in high school that I wanted to move to California. That was just like so appealing to me, just that like Californian LA lifestyle. I really wanted to move to LA. So I convinced Steve to please move to LA. So we got everything in line and we moved to LA in 2018. And I got out there and I was like, okay, this is like where I'm gonna thrive. I'm just gonna like blossom and all my dreams are gonna come true. Another spoiler alert, that did not happen. So once we got out to LA, I was like, you know what? I think styling would be really fun. I would love to work like on set or work for a magazine and like kind of put together these like really cool looks. So I had assisted a couple stylists out in LA, and again, I'm the kind of person that like I romanticize something in my head and I like create this amazing like lavish, extravagant idea, and if it doesn't turn out the way that I've imagined, I'm like, wait, what? This like isn't as cool as I thought it was gonna be. So, toxic trait of mine. Pause, get your drink, let's cheers. I need a refill. It's empty, sad. Day drinking is just, it's where it's at. So as I was saying, I assisted a few stylists out in LA, which was actually really cool. It was a very cool experience that I got to do that. But again, it just wasn't fulfilling what I was looking for. I think I knew deep down that I've always wanted to try to work for myself, but I just didn't really know like what avenue that was. And another thing is that I thought that moving to LA was gonna be like the end all be all for me. I thought this is where we were gonna literally have a family and live the rest of our lives. Well, and again, something that I thought was gonna be my dream turned out to not be what I thought it was gonna be. You know, I'm so happy that we moved to LA and we got to try that life, and we lived there for a little over a year and a half. But around that year mark, I was like, you know, I just don't know if this is for us. Like, I love it. I think it's fun. I'm glad we tried it, but I was like, I think I want to move back to our small town, our hometown, which is crazy because I was so eager to get out of the town that I was raised in. But both of our families are here. We wanted to start a family soon. Steve and I were also engaged, and we had planned our wedding to be out in LA. So we were kind of like, okay, like let's have our wedding. Like that'll be our big hurrah. And then after our wedding, we'll move back home. Is this like sporadic, erratic? So we got married in November of 2019, and then we literally moved home 2 weeks later. That was a fun trek across the country. Segueing from always being into fashion, I've also always loved interiors and decorating and just kind of like creating a very cozy, comfy, but also pretty space. And something that Steve and I have wanted to do over the last few years is get an investment property. And last year we actually had the opportunity to pursue that, and we found a property which I have shown in one of my previous vlogs. I believe it's my second vlog that I show our investment property. So if you are interested in that, you should go check out that video. And I'm kind of taking this as like, this is gonna be my new career path. It's gonna be fashion, but for it kind of sounds dumb whenever I say this out loud, but it's like fashion for your house. Like, I love fashion because it is the coolest way to express yourself. I love that it's always ever evolving because we as people are always ever evolving. So it's just like, it's this cool way to portray yourself and like express yourself. I don't know, obviously fashion is expressing yourself. So now I'm taking that spin because I love fashion for myself, but I don't necessarily think I want to pursue something in fashion that is with actual clothing for other people. I want to do something that's creative and fashionable, but I want to do it in a different way. Wow, you guys, if you made it through that, I mean, props to you. I tried to stay in chronological order. It's actually really weird to talk about yourself because you're like, what are like my important things that I'm gonna say about myself? It's kind of, for me, it's hard to talk about myself. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Okay, but before I end, I'm gonna do 5 fun facts about me. The first one's not that random, but I feel like it is a fact about me, is that I'm a Virgo, which I know astrology signs are like, they're like whatever, like some people are really into it and some people are like, okay, like who cares, like why is that a trait of yours? But I did get kind of into astrology like 2 years ago, and so I'm a Virgo, I'm a freak, I am very A-type, I'm very orderly. Welcome to me, welcome to my Virgo life. Okay, my second random fact about me is that whenever I was like 7, maybe I was 8, probably 7. I was almost in an American Girl doll catalog. The way I pause, I was almost an American Girl doll. I was almost in an American Girl doll catalog. I went to like a modeling casting for it, and then unfortunately 9/11 happened, and so they weren't able to fly back down for the second casting, but I was almost in an American Girl doll catalog. So that was like really cool to me, being that young. I grew up dancing competitively. I started dancing when I was 5, and I danced from 5 years old until I was like 17. I also did cheerleading, but like, Actually, cheerleading is a very intense sport, and I love watching it, but I liked dancing better. Okay, I don't know why, but sometimes whenever I think of random things about me, I always think about this. Whenever I was young, like probably like, I don't know, 6, I loved Growing Pains, and I also was like obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio. But my mom would tell time to me in Growing Pains. And what I mean by that is if my mom was leaving and I would be like, where are you going? How long are you gonna be gone for? She would be like, I'm gonna be gone for 3 Growing Pains episodes. So probably an hour and a half, because they're probably 30 minutes. By the way, I'm a weird person. Okay, last but certainly not least is I hate clutter. Nothing feels better to me than getting rid of something. I'm like, oh, this can leave our house, goodbye. And my husband is somewhat of a hoarder. I'm like, when's the last time you touched this? No, we gotta get rid of it. And I like to have things that serve a purpose. I do not like to have things that like I don't use. So why do I have this if I don't use it? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Okay guys, we survived this little get to know me video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I would like to start incorporating a little bit more of like specific videos versus just weekly vlogs, so I might try to do this every once in a while. So if you guys like this video, if you would give it a thumbs up, that would mean so much to me. And if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!